back to more Moonborn, and we're getting close to finishing the story. So I'm very excited. Says I finally faced the Spanish Prince of Vampires. So let's just jump right in. I'm very nervous, but we'll see how this goes. Uh, okay. I'm still nervous though. Oh, I don't know what to expect. I'm most likely gonna have to do this a couple times because I don't think this is gonna go as nice as I would like it. Okay. Approaching in-game. As Agatha slowly headed towards them, Mia whispered to Max, "That's Mora's companion. I saw them together at Taste of Night and in the Opera House in Florence." He looked around and checked for any other vampires, but there didn't seem to be any. She's by herself. When she finally approached, she shot a glance at Max before addressing Mia. "Greetings, Mia. My name is Agatha. I was sent by Angel Mora. He's in town and wants to meet you." No? like, To what do I owe the honor? You can ask him that personally. My safety isn't guaranteed, is it? And what if I refuse? The vampires avoided a direct answer. I am simply doing as I am told. In any case, if you accept the invitation, no one else needs to get hurt. Without a shadow of fear, Mia said, "Don't! It would be unwise to get others involved in this." Oh, Lord. Agatha grinned. "Come to the center of the small graveyard just north of town at midnight." I don't know what it is with you vampires and graveyards. Agatha acted as if she didn't hear him, although her expression stated otherwise. Mia chuckled to herself. "After what you have to say, you can go now." The vampires nodded and headed back towards her car. As she drove off, Max grimaced. I don't like this dude. She knew when to come here. With all these people around, we couldn't do anything. Let's go to Victor. After listening to the story, he said, "There's nothing surprising in Mora picking the graveyard for the meeting. No one's there late at night, so it's perfect for a private conversation. Or fight. We don't have much time. Are we all going there? Agatha didn't specify if I should come alone." "That's right. We also don't know how many will be accompanying the prince. We should take Arthur and Xander with us as well." "What about Sophia?" "She won't be able to make it in time." "I'll call Uncle John. He's in town. He'll come to help us without a doubt." "Are you sure that's worth it?" "What if it's a trap?" "I agree. We need to be in a position of control should things go sour." Mia took out her phone and called Francis. "You agreed to meet at the graveyard gates at 1:45. Well, thankfully, at least I don't have to go by myself. They didn't specify. I think it would have been a mistake to roll up by myself and think I could just handle him. That's not how this works. Neither Xander or Arthur were too excited to meet the werewolves, but Arthur managed to hide the fact a bit better. "Do we really need their help? What is your problem?" "Now is not the time for infighting or remain silent." Yeah, because I don't like either of these statements. I don't know if he's stronger. I really don't. Now's not the time for infighting or remain silent. I want to say now isn't the time for infighting. This is interesting. I don't know what the difference between these. I feel like it's a skill point, but I can't tell which one. I want to say this, but this seems more like fortitude / gift of blood. I'm gonna go with this one. John clenched his fist as he stared at the vampire. "Gentlemen, enough of this." Francis, who had stood quietly by this entire time, asked, If we're done with this pointless contest, can somebody explain what needs to be done? I don't know. Maybe I should have said something. Oh, next time. Uncle, are you in charge of the far side of the... You are in charge of the far side of the graveyard. All right. Francis, you stay here and watch the entrance. She nodded. Xander, you flank right, while Arthur takes left. Understood. It shall be done. Exchange phone numbers and stay in touch with each other, so if someone goes missing, you immediately know about it. Report anything strange to us. So there's somebody at my front door. Victor turned towards Max. Looks like that about covers it. Let's go. The remaining three of them slowly went towards the designated spot. Shadows from the nearby trees covered parts of the road. The creaking of the branches was the only sound breaking the silence. Max and Victor seemed completely calm. Only their eyes gave away their inner tension. The prince made a big mistake if he came alone. I doubt that he did, and I also, even if he did, he has a plan. Could this really be the end of this? No, this is chapter 9. Mora decided to get rid of me before the blood moon. She felt her heart rate increase as the adrenaline kicked in. Mia saw the prince from afar. He wasn't even hiding, just waiting there for her in his white suit. Agatha was by his side. Strange. It seems like it's just the two of them. That's suspect. Max grinned. How arrogant of him. I thought vampire princes were smarter. He is. This is... And you weren't wrong, Fall. Looks like Mac is hyping himself up before the fight. They slowly approached. Miss Shadow Raven, who writes rather intriguing articles, Mr. Van Art. And you are? Max Fall. You came. Pardon? I said good thing you came here yourself. I was worried we'd have to look all over the place for you. Look for me. What for? Fall. But Max was already done talking. With a roar, he lunged forward, starting his transformation. Max, sweetheart, don't think that's the best idea. Oh, Lord. Here we go. We have begun. Oh, Max. The vampires reacted way faster than Mia. The prince swung his cane and it split in two. He threw the sheet to the side, leaving a thin blade in his hands. He then pointed it towards Max. In the meantime, Victor managed to make eye contact with Mora and said in a commanding tone, "Stop." The prince froze in place, and Max managed to avoid his weapon. Victor, dude. Agatha then went on the offensive, trying to break Victor's concentration. Subdue the vampires as well. Mia managed to make eye contact and ordered, "Stay back." Agatha didn't fully succumb to the hypnosis, but she did hesitate in a place for a moment. Victor slipped past her while keeping hold of the prince. Mia repeated, "Stay back." Huh? The vampires backed up, tripped and failed. Max was furiously attacking again and again. His claws ripped through the white cloth and drips of blood were sent flying through the air. The prince was thrown backward and hit a tombstone. He then rolled away and stood up. For a moment he was out of Victor's sight, which gave him enough time to regain his senses and counterattack the werewolf. He managed to slash Max once. A thin cut appeared on his chest. Agatha reached for a nearby stone and threw it at Mia. She barely managed to dodge it. In an instant, the vampire stood up. "Take this." A hit to the stomach caused Mia to fold in two. A hit to the shoulder was next. She managed to make eye contact once again. She put all of her will into one simple command. Sleep. Her gift of the moon did not fail her. The vampires collapsed on the ground, and with a gentle sob, she rolled to the side and grew quiet. As Mia turned around, she saw the prince throw Max to the side, his heavy body slamming against a nearby stone angel, then falling to the ground. Mora then slowly headed for Victor, swinging his blade from side to side. Oh shoot, I didn't say that thing broke. Swing, then another two in a cross formation. Victor was able to avoid them, all the while slowing the prince down with hypnosis. But Mora was fast and clearly worthy of his title. Okay, so I think Victor, his strongest, she was asking about it earlier, I think his strongest thing is his hypnosis. Shaking off Victor's control, he struck again and pierced his chest. The sword went all the way through Victor. He held his breath and stood motionless. The bloody tip of the sword became visible. Victor's wide-open eyes gazed intently at Mora. I don't like this. He then whispered something, after which Mora pulled out his weapon. Yeah, attack his will. He readied his blade for another swing. They were rather far apart and Mia didn't know a better way to help. Without binding her will to specific words, she unleashed it with a scream of fear and fury. Angel Mora staggered and blinked a few times, momentarily stopping his attack. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. Victor managed to not get hit in the heart or any of the major arteries. Mia's vision darkened from the strain and she leaned against a nearby tree. She didn't notice Max get up. Victor slowly shifted to the side as the Spanish prince watched him. Their eyes met. Victor's face turned pale. His lips twisted into a smile. He looked at Mora, who succumbed to his will. Max slashed him with his claws. Blood spurted out as Mora screamed in pain. Max then pinned him to the ground. Still weakly struggling, Mora tried to reach for his weapon. Victor kicked it away. Max leaned in. Wait. But he'd already bitten into the vampire's neck with a wet crunch. Mia turned away and vomited. Max handed her a napkin and told Victor handed her, what's the name? Enough! What did you do that for? The agony of his battle was quickly fading, giving way to tiredness. What? Victor shook his head. You attack without letting him speak. Now, it's too late. You want to fill us in, sweetheart? Wolf answered with displeasure, but without malice. Hey, did you come here to have a chat? He's the reason why Mia almost died. I wasn't going to listen to anything this trash had to say. You wanted to make a deal with him? To exchange pleasantries and go our separate ways? Well, I'm sorry. Now you can't. No more prince means no more ritual means no more problems. This is chapter 9. Mia, you okay? All good. But Victor, please tell us what you were trying to figure out. Victor inspected Mora's body and said, he's an old and powerful vampire. There is a possibility that he will recover. However, with this kind of damage, even if it's possible, it's going to take a while, so don't finish him off. Max looked at him in suspicion and stopped. Hold on. There'll be time for that. Victor approached Agatha. What is his plan here? And why didn't he tell us about it? What are you doing? She's alive. Yes, I wasn't as rough with her as Max was with the prince. Mia, call Francis and the others. Tell them that there is no more threat. While I have a little talk with Agatha here, if you don't mind. Want to find out who else would help prepare for the ritual? Good idea. The vampires opened her eyes and sat up. What? What's happened to the prince? Max grinned. Get up. He extended his hand to her and helped her up. We're going to ask you a few questions. Please answer truthfully. She saw Mora's body and whispered, You'll pay for that. Do you hear me, Agatha? Look at me. His voice turned velvety soft, while his gaze commanding. Agatha was immediately entranced, the hatred on her face slowly melting into a calmer expression. Do you know the details of the ritual? Yes. It is forbidden. It is dangerous. Many may die. Where was Mora going to conduct it? Sleepy, expressionless voice. Angel Mora did not intend to perform the ritual. He was among those who forbade it. Yeah, but then he reconsidered and recalled the formula. No, he was searching for the one intending to perform it. Mia was shocked by what she heard and looked at Max and Victor. Who did he suspect? Everyone, including you, Victor Van Aert. Victor looked at Mia, who in turn looked at Max. Oh, great. God damn it. Alright, stop. She turned back towards Agatha. Can I ask all of them? If he was trying to stop the ritual, yeah, then why kill me? Because then I could have focused on the one doing the ritual. Like, I don't understand. That's my biggest question right now. Yes, it's a taste of night when because of you he lost his victim. But the local vampires got involved and he stopped caring. He wasn't interested in Selma's mortal girlfriends. He only remembered about you when he found out that you spoke with Fabian in Florence. Well, that's a lie because he sent Edgar and friends after me. And we saw those conversations, so no, that's not the only time he remembered about me. That's a lie. Spoke with Fabian in Florence. Who killed Fabian? I don't know. We suspected that you did, Mia. Why? We had our doubts. How would a mere mortal kill a vampire? Were you the last person to meet him before he died? While looking through the security footage from the Opera House, I immediately recognized you. Coincidences like that don't happen. Obviously, you were there for a reason. Even if you had nothing to do with his death, we had to talk to you, since you could have seen or known something. But you sent a hunter after me. Yeah, okay, let's go back to that. What about the hunter? She yawned as if she wasn't getting enough oxygen and shrugged. Angel Mara wasn't too fond of what was happening in the New World. Too many overly ambitious vampires. He came here specifically to remind them of the traditions and the way things are supposed to be done. That's exactly when you had your run-in with him. The blood moon was approaching, and there was a disturbance in the local society. When the very respected vampire Howard Crawford disappeared and new converts started popping up, Mora got even more worried. He wanted to know what was going on here, so he sent his hunter to find out. What about the sniper guy? Was he sent by Edgar? I guess that makes sense why. I'm sorry, I'm like trying to go over every interaction in my head and remember who exactly was responsible for what. So Agatha, he sent her there to get me. I assumed it was to kill me, but then I was wondering at why it took her so long to approach me. And she was more so focused on what Victor was doing. So, says Hunter to find out. So his goal wasn't to kill me? No, his only goal was information. And then he was going to kill me once he got it, but you know, whatever. What about the Galstadt ambush? I don't know what you're talking about. No, it can't be. How could we have been so wrong? What were you doing in Czech? I was looking for you to talk about Fabian's death. Why would the prince be interested in his death? Fabian knew about the ritual. At the Opera House, the two of them spoke about it. Fabian assured Mora that he hadn't told anyone. And? The prince wasn't sure if Fabian was telling the truth, then his death only confirmed those suspicions. We received no news from Vasca. A mortal girl successfully hiding from a prince, and on top of that, looking for an audience with the Ash clan. Agatha exhaustively added, accompanied by a powerful vampire. All of that was troubling. Time was running out before the next blood moon. The prince came to confirm whether his suspicions were baseless. If not, he intended to help unite the uninvolved vampires and prevent the ritual. We didn't have much to go off of. That's when he decided to speak with you directly. Max glanced at Victor, but decided not to ask anything. With me? Why not Victor, for instance? Because you can be subdued with hypnosis and interrogated. And Mr. Van Art, what if he was behind the ritual all along? Victor loosened his control a bit, and Agatha immediately looked at Mora's body again. So it's not you. Why did you think it was Mora? because somebody's playing us like damn fiddles. May I... May I take him with me? If you intend to let me go, that is. Mia looked at Victor, who maintained his hold over Agatha and as such could feel her emotions. She's not lying. Let her go, then. A few minutes later, Agatha, holding the prince in her arm, disappeared into the night, and Max asked, Van Art, you wanted to talk to him? Yes. Could have said so sooner. I didn't consider that you go straight for the kill. Why not? Like, what else did you think we were here for? Like, why didn't you tell us your plan? If you had the suspicions, why the fuck didn't you say anything? Like, that's annoying as hell. Like, sure, maybe Max was a bit hasty, but ultimately the fault is with Victor on this one. If he knew something else, if he suspected something else, then I don't understand why he didn't tell us what it is. It's not like he didn't have time. We had tons of time together. Talking about who did this, why, all the above. And if you had your doubts and you wanted a conversation, you should have talked about that when we were talking about the plan at the front door. He's like, oh, okay, well, you go there, I guess that's it. Like, what the fuck? Though taking into account the first time we met with him, you were right to do so. Alright, now's not the time for this. Why did we think it was Mora anyway? Benny said that the hunter was sent after me. Oh, hell. You think he planned it all himself? Come on. No, it's Benny. He's an idiot. Somebody's playing him. I can't believe Benny's in on it, though. Harmless. Exactly. Unless... No way. She took out her phone and put it on speaker. Hey. Benny Bart, don't you dare hang up. Whoa, such a commanding tone. I'm quivering. What's up? You told me that it was Angel Mora who sent the hunter after me. So? How did you find that out? I already told you I had my sources. Who gave you that information? Mia, what's the matter? What's with this interrogation, cutie? I don't have to report everything to you. Benny, hello. This is Van Art. Oh, hi, Victor. Please, answer the question. Between us? Yes. It was Edgar. You're an idiot, Benny. You're an idiot. Who is he? A vampire? Benny, be more specific. I've never met him. Right, I don't know his name. I've met him, obviously. He's the one who turned me into a Moonborn. But I never knew his name, I think. Edgar serves one very important person. He's a confidant, so to speak. Whose? I'm gonna be in trouble if he finds out. This particular vampire is very supportive of what I do. I owe him too much. He won't find out, I promise. Edgar works for Ethan Wood. But he was always talking... He was always talking to... Oh my god, wait. He was always talking to a prince on the phone. But did they ever show specifically that he was talking to Angel Mora? Or did they just make it look like he was talking to Angel Mora and he wasn't? What? Hold on. I gotta look. Okay, that took me a while. But yeah, I just found a conversation between him and the prince. They never show who he's talking to. It just says prince. And it doesn't even show Angel Mora's outline or anything like that. So I don't think Edgar was ever talking to Angel Mora. That's wild. We just assumed that it was him because he's the one who looks like he's evil. Looks like he's up to no good. Fucking Ethan Wood. Piece of shit. Do you know where Ethan is right now? No, he's a prince. I'm not always up to date on what he's up to. During our last meeting, he let it slip that he was going to be out of town for a few days. Where to? No idea. Cancel your concert. Again with this? Why should I anyway? Because you're an idiot, and this is half your fault. I can't explain what once used to kill hundreds of people. He'd never believe that. But we have to try. Alright, I see. I'm not getting involved in this. Victor, I'm sorry, but your power struggles don't involve me. I can't believe this. It's not the first time that Ethan organized my concerts. He's invested so much into me. Simply put, I just don't want to hear all of this. Yeah, because you're an idiot. Benny, is the prince going to attend your concert? Of course. He booked the stadium half a year in advance. Personally coordinated everything from delivery to installation. And now you're saying this? Will's truly gone mad. Bye. He hung up. Benny is trash. Benny is trash. I'm sorry. I don't like that dude. That bastard would. Let's get out of here. We need to plan our next move and get ourselves in order. It would also be a good idea to tell everything to the others. My place should be perfect for that. Do you accept the invitation? Yes. Sophia was already waiting for them in a car parked nearby. Everyone except John Fall came. Otto looked around the interior. Your tastes haven't changed. Whereas the empirical style and the originals of the classics? That question remained unanswered. Fall, if you need the bathroom, is up the stairs and to the right. The werewolf stained with Mora's blood nodded and went to wash his face. Any news? Some, very ambiguous. Then they started discussing what happened. Victor sat down into a nearby chair and quietly looked into the flames. Victor? Mia? Tucking her by the hand, Sophia whispered. Let him think for a bit. Victor's face was emotionless. Occasionally, he would furrow his eyebrows or shake his head as if in response to his thoughts before going back to the emotionless expression. He was completely focused on his thoughts. Events of the past few months were flashing before his eyes, forming one cohesive course of events. Why do I feel like Victor's like Sherlock Holmes and he should be the main character of the story? Like, for real. Arthur made himself at home and brought some wine. Max returned. After waiting for a bit, Max asked, what conclusions have we come to? I'm completely confused. Truth be told, I don't get it myself. Victor turned away from the fire and asked, how? Everything fits together. So you understand how all this has happened? It's all conjecture, of course. But he understands. He stood up. You suspected Wood? Victor sighed. Yes, however, there was no evidence to back it up. Everything was pointing towards Mora. And to top it off, his involvement in the events was an undeniable fact. To share my baseless doubts would cause even more confusion. Still, like, I feel like while we were brainstorming, like, I understand you want to steer us in one direction. Like, okay, but I would be like, okay, I have this thoughts about this person too, so we should kind of, you know, stay on guard in regards to this person, but at the same time, I feel like right now everything is pointing more clearly towards Mora. Which would have been fine. Like, I don't understand. Like, you know what this situation is exactly like? This is exactly like the situation earlier where he thought that it would be a better idea not to tell me about the werewolves, but that kind of blew up in his face, didn't it? It's like, this is the exact same thing. He chose not to share information with us, and it kind of blew up because now we can't even talk to Mora about it because he needs to recover. And if he wasn't an enemy, then we could have made him into an ally, but now that chance is gone. And he could have helped us fight Wood, but, you know, no, that's gone to hell. So, yeah, anyway. Despite it all fitting together quite nicely, something always seemed off to me, like something I was forgetting. Minor things. What do you mean? There were two main points in our version. The death of Fabian immediately after meeting Mia, and the attack on the younger Fall. The historian's death can be explained with Mora wanting to get rid of someone who knew too much about the ritual. But the attack on the werewolf cup made no sense. The vampire who got Mia's whereabouts from Lewis and tried to ambush her in Galstad is the same one who attacked Sean. Max identified his scent. For the life of me, I couldn't figure out the connection between the Spanish prince and a fall cub. It was wrong to assume that what we saw were the actions of a single prince. In reality, there were two of them involved. Care to explain? How did it all start? With the invitation. No, the masquerade was a simple vampire part. It's completely unrelated. It all started way before that, when Ethan Wood started preparing for the ritual. I think it went something like this. In the not-so-distant past, Ethan Wood, together with his friend Luca Mero, found out about a certain forbidden ritual and a prophecy to go with it. Mero studied history just like Fabian. Yes, he led a reclusive lifestyle so no one knew that he knew the prince. Either he found it himself and decided to share his findings with his only friend, or they stumbled upon the story of Gregory Bishop together. The outcome doesn't change. And he's mentioned in the surviving pages of Luca's diary. Ethan wanted to perform the ritual. Mero understood that he'd be unable to make Wood reconsider, and asking other vampires for help was too risky, because they could also fall into temptation, or simply think that he's out of his mind. Victor nodded. I also think that Mero knew that Wood wouldn't hesitate to get rid of his friend if he got in the way, so Lucas did everything in his power to get the prophecy into the hands of the Moonborn. So everything we figured out from the manuscripts was correct, except it was about Ethan Wood and not Angel Mora. Yes. Next, Wood carefully prepares for the blood moon to rise over his territory. Some time passes. Nearing the night of the ritual, a problem arises. Howard Crawford, a powerful vampire intending to take Ethan's place as prince. He was undoubtedly gathering information about Wood, closely watching his every move until his plans were very nearly found out. Considering Crawford's radical views, Wood decides to get him off his back by causing confrontation with the werewolves. To start it, a cub needed to die. I assume the order was carried out by the same confidant, as Benny called him, this Edgar. That's when Mia comes into play. She saves Sean and fools the plan. Curious, Ethan pretty much caused the appearance of the Moonborn. Indirectly, yes. Next up, Mia starts looking for information about her conversion, asks around the club during Benny's concert. And Benny sent Dante to me. Wood was informed about it, and it got him worried. So he also wanted to find out who Mia was. Edgar turned to mercenaries, but Mia managed to run away from them. Sean survived, Mia escaped. Terrible results. I'm pretty sure that it wasn't ordered by the prince, but rather by his own initiative. Perhaps, wanting to reinstate himself in his master's eyes, Edgar finds a killer, a human. Aware of the conflict of interest between Wood and Mora, he makes sure that the calls go through Spain. I remember you said you were trying to trace the killer's call after the attack. Victor nodded and continued. Mia survives thanks to her regeneration working even in daylight. By this point, Wood is certain that the prophecy is coming true. He's worried about the new problem, but then we help him out by getting rid of Crawford. Damn it. I think I see what you're getting at. Confused by the disappearance of Howard, Morris sent in his hunter. That's right. And then Wood, credit where credit is due, made a rather smart play. Through Benny Bart, he made Mia believe that Vasco was coming for her. What happened then? He pushed Mia to travel to Europe and meet up with Fabian, while at the same time ordering his death. Hoping that Mora would take care of the Moonborn. I believe so, yes. And while Mia gets information about the prophecy, Fall and I take the bait and deal with the hunter. Arthur noted. You got rid of Howard for him and then he used you again to deal with Mora's hunter? Marvelous. Frances shook her head in disbelief. Wow. But I met him in person. Why didn't he kill me then and there? He knows the prophecy and that's why he's afraid. You're the Moonborn, the one who will stop him. Well, sure, but I've been gaining power over time, and I wasn't anywhere near as powerful then as I am now. Like, and he texted me to come there alone, and I did. He could have had an army of people waiting there for me, though. That kind of seems like an oversight on his part. I mean, not that I'm complaining, but still. It's quite clear that he's avoiding direct confrontations with you, Mia. What if I hadn't met Fabian? Would that have changed anything? Fabian, I don't think Fabian told me much. He told me about the ritual, but like, we didn't really get any information from him. I wouldn't really call it luck though. If you plan to kill him ahead of time, then someone had to have been watching Fabian's every move. And since you were looking for information about your strange conversion, by extension the Moonborn, that would mean you'd be interested in what he knew. In order to meet him, you'd have to come to Florence. Then there was the story with Lewis and the Gallstad ambush. Perhaps the same vampire that bit you and nearly killed Rachel operated there. Perhaps on his master's orders. This Edgar, or whatever his name is, failed again. In Europe, that would have gotten him killed by now. The prince wouldn't get rid of faithful servants, not now. The rest was pretty easy. The already worried Angel Mora loses contact with his hunter, then finds out about our visit to Prague. His henchmen sent to deliver Mia encounter Arthur, Sophia, and Xander. Without any understanding of the situation, Mora then comes here to make sense of everything himself. Ethan would have came dangerously close to executing his plan. The Moonborn can still stop him. You're right. I can? Because, I don't know if we were paying attention to that fight we just had. I barely made a dent in Angel Mora's path. I like, and, you know... I mean, I guess, sure that Ethan is younger than the prince, but so is Victor. And Victor nearly handled that. Yeah. It all makes sense now. Damn it, we could have gained a powerful ally tonight, but instead, she didn't finish. This just goes to show that Ethan holds his title for a reason. He's cunning, clever, and calculated. He played you like a fool, Victor. We've entered endgame, but it is not over yet. The opponent always makes mistakes. Your rival caused him to panic, Arthur. That's why he insisted I leave town as soon as possible. The momentary silence was interrupted by Sophia. Victor, I went all over possible options, but I'm sorry. I don't know anyone we could trust with this. Unless... Speak. There's one powerful vampire who would be willing to help. For him, that would be an opportunity to return from exile. Is it because I didn't kill Howard? Who would that be? You mentioned him today, Howard Crawford. Victor, he would do exactly as you command. He keeps his word. Why would he do that? I know that he wants to return back to society, seeing he is not too excited about living out his days in isolation. I vote yes. Then it's decided. I'll contact him. Tomorrow he will be here. Sophia, do you happen to have any connections in Europe? Some, yes. Can you find out if Dante Guerrero is alive? I can try. After making a few calls, she said, no one has seen him in a while. However, here's his latest known phone number. Thank you. I wonder if he'll answer. Mia went outside. Come on, Dante, pick up the phone. After a few rings, a familiar voice answered. Yes? Dante? Mia? He was surprised. Hello. How did you get this number? Did you forget already? I have friends among the vampires. Are you alright? Yes, what about you? What happened over there in the mountains? I'm fine. After that whole debacle, I decided to go off the grid for the time being. I'm speechless, Dante. Can you imagine what went through my mind? You could have sent some sign that you were alright. Even Peter Gents wrote to me. You have a point. I'm sorry, Mia. I really could have found a way to let you know. I should have. The thing is, he hesitated. I didn't want to. Why? After my brush with death, I reconsidered my position. I decided that all these ancient riddles and conflicts with princes aren't really my thing anymore. Okay, so I guess we can't count on him. Oh well. I don't want to be faced with the dilemma of either saving a girl in trouble or worrying about my own well-being. I'm a lawyer, not a warrior, and I didn't become an immortal to die a heroic death now. So, I pretty much decided to disappear out of your life completely. I do hope you aren't alone right now. With an ice-cold tone, she responded, I have people helping me. I'm glad. Where are you now? It doesn't matter. I see. Well, no matter what, you can rest assured that your secret is safe with me. That's fine. You don't have to help me. Thanks again for everything you have done for me. Goodbye. Bye. She hung up. Dante's alive, that's what matters. The rest is up to him. She came back inside the house. How's Mr. Greer doing? Yeah, he's fine, but he doesn't want to contact me anymore. He won't tell anyone about the prophecy? No. Max shrugged. Then forget about him. Victor, can't we simply crash Bart's concert? Considering Wood's influence and what he's capable of, it's highly unlikely. Fall, can we count on anyone else from your pack? I'll visit them during the day and ask. Should we... If this is about vampires taking over, should we also get Obi's pack involved too? Ugh. I don't know. Take me with you. I also want to talk to them. A bit later, with everyone lost in their own thoughts, they all returned to their respective homes. At around midday, Mia got ready. Unkempt black hair, ash hair, light brown, combed black hair. Let's go with this one. Then they headed for the fall pack. Uncle John and Ralph were already waiting them. Brother, Mia. Good day to you. Hello. We need to talk. Ralph looked at her. You too hungry? Sure, a little bit. Let's go to the kitchen then. Ralph made the two of them tea and sandwiches. Then they called for Conrad. Greetings, Mia. You haven't visited in a while. Well, Max, tell us, who did you fight at the graveyard? And what business do you have with the vampires? We nearly offed Angel Mora, the Spanish prince, or maybe we did. That's not important right now. He then briefly told about the ritual and Ethan Wood. After attentively hearing him out, Ralph asked, and what do you intend to do? Attend Benny's concert. The show is going to be interesting to say the least. This isn't our fight. Is it not? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Whatever. Didn't you hear me, Ralph? If Will pulls that night off, it's going to be in badly for all of us. And what makes you think that? You want your relatives to risk their lives for some vampire power struggle? Are you out of your mind? Are you out of yours? Like, I don't think you're grasping the conversation. It's like he's having a problem getting over a hurdle. Like, just looking over it. Like, I don't know, just peek on the other side and look past your little one. Like, I can get you want to protect your pack. But looking ahead into the distance is also what protects your pack. You need to understand what's gonna happen to have a little bit of more foresight. Because right now he's behaving very similar to how his ancestors did in the past, that Von Dills guy. You know, just saying. It's very dumb. Max retorted, "You can't see anything past your snout, or maybe it's your tail stuck between your legs." Mia interjected. Ralph, listen. He didn't let her finish. Mia, I'm sorry. I'll never forget what you did for Sean, but Max paid his debt off in full. It's not about me. Like, I don't understand. How can you not see? There's a flimsy balance between humans, werewolves, and vampires. Ethan Wood aims to disrupt it. Once he gains power, he will eliminate all of his opponents. We may die in battle, sure. But if he survives, where would Pat go? Into hiding? And for how long? 5, 10, 20 years? This war is going to affect us sooner or later either way. It was clear this was a difficult conversation for Max to have. He continued demanding. Decide, pack leader. Ralph, allow me to go with them. I have no wife or children. You're a leader and you have your family to take care of. Sean is young. Arjory and Helen are women. They don't have to fight. Conrad is old. You know that Max and Mia are right. Let me help them. Ralph nodded and looked at John. John, follow me at your side when the time comes. Good. He then hugged Max. Mia overheard a brief, "I'm sorry." Mia thought that it would be a good idea to leave the werewolves alone for a while. Idiot. She squinted as she looked at the sky. Sun rays gently touched her face. "Greetings, Mia." "Oh, Helen, hey." She looked worried. "What's going on? Something bad?" "Uh-huh." "I figured as much. For some reason, Ralph isn't happy that you're here." Mia puckered her lips. "And for good reason. Don't be surprised if he's cold towards you. You're not a werewolf, and, forgive me, not entirely human, yes? Of course he had different ideas about who Max would choose. That's why he isn't too excited." The subject was rather unexpected, and Mia didn't know how to respond. Truth be told, Ralph has already accepted it. Trust me, I know my husband. He's accepted Max's decision. Mia, is something wrong? Actually, I haven't talked to Max about anything like that. Well, we are in a relationship, yes, but I don't know what it will lead to. Helen smiled. Everything is clear, Mia. Max is a werewolf. Yes, so? Werewolves are monogamous, Mia. When they choose for life. He will want to stay with you forever. Will you? Max entered the room. What are you two talking about? He came closer and put his hand on Mia's waist. Just girl things. You wouldn't find them interesting. All right. Mia, let's go home. Okay. Well, at least we got John to help us at least. And yeah, I don't know if it would be a good idea to try to talk to Obi's into it. He already trying to avoid problems before we even got to this to begin with. I wonder if it was possible to get more. I don't think so, though. Ethan Wood was neither at his office nor at the Taste of Night. It was evident that he had left town and none of the vampires knew where he was. Benny Bart wasn't answering any calls. Why are we calling him? Like, seriously. Like, you can say goodbye to my life forever. Like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. They were less than a week before the ritual when Max suggested to try asking the Obi Pack for help. Oh, Lord. I know I suggested it, but also, again, I don't think it's a good idea. Oh my God. It's uncertain that Emil will agree to help, but we don't have much to lose at this point. Alright, let's go talk with him. Oh, boy. Okay, it says Nia enters the final battle. I think we're going to keep going and leave episode 11 on its own. I think so. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. First, we're going to go talk to Obi and them. Obi and friends. Oh gosh. I have to deal with Samantha. Ugh. Chapter 10. The Blood Moon. They once again met with the Obi Pack leader in his office. Mia got straight to the core of the problem. Do you remember how I was searching for the casket with the manuscript inside? Well, I managed to find out about an ancient vampire ritual. By sacrificing the blood of countless humans a certain way, a vampire can obtain immense power. Ethan Wood happened to find out about this, and he intends to make use of what he's learned. I know how this may sound, but it's the truth. Assuming that's true, how does any of this affect me? That hurdle, still there. Just peek over. We have to put an end to him and his plans. And we need help. Obi shook his head and asked, am I supposed to risk the life of any of my wolves? God. He's repeating Ralph's words. Leaders. Difficulty in his persuasion depends on your reputation with the werewolves. No. Okay. Set aside your differences with Mia. There's no room for error here. And no time to go to the other wolf packs and try to convince them. Ethan Wood is out of his mind. And any from your pack taking part in this? John and I are. Obi clenched his fist. Fine. Samantha and Didier will help you. 2 wolves from the Obi pack will aid you due to your high reputation. Thank you. The Obi are gonna help. I can't believe this. There was a little over a day left before the ritual. Everyone who attended to help stop it gathered together. A VIP room in one of the local clubs was chosen as the meeting place. We needed to come up with a plan. At a local club? As she entered the room, Mia was surprised to see Trevor? Trevor, sweetheart, what are you doing here? Hey, she asked in confusion. Yeah, what are you doing here? The same thing the others are. He was visibly amused by her reaction. Max intervened. I called him. Trevor stood up, came closer, and quietly said, I got the gist of it. Vol told me most of it. I wanted to help, the one who saved my life. He'll be on support, covering our backs away from the front lines. It wasn't clear whether Max was explaining Trevor's role to Mia or repeating it once more for his benefit. I'm going with you guys. No way, you might die. She tried talking him out of it. The vampires we're facing are most likely experienced fighters. It's also likely they'll outnumber us. This is going to take place right here in our town? Yes. Don't make me for an idiot. I'm absolutely terrified, but there's no other way. Max managed to make eye contact with Mia and motioned towards those gathered. They were waiting, silently observing what was happening. Oh, you're all done with introductions? No, we just arrived. I see. This is Trevor, my colleague. Max told us a lot about you. He then extended his hand to Trevor. John. Good evening, I'm Arthur. Xander. Greeting, Sophia von Geltz. Pleasure to meet you. She looked at him in surprise. He's only recently become a werewolf and doesn't really have a good idea of who you are. This is Didier Obi. Greetings. And Samantha. She waved unenthusiastically. Uh-huh. Hey. A formally dressed vampire entered the room. And this is Mr. Howard Crawford. It's been a while, dude. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Max Snidely said, long time no see. Mr. Fall, it wasn't that long ago, but let us leave our differences behind us. Should I survive and stay in this town, I won't actively pick a fight with the werewolves. Max's expression turned more serious as he nodded, accepting Howard's promise. Frances was the last to introduce herself. My name is Frances. And that's that. We're not expecting anyone else. There's not a lot of us here. However, the prince also doesn't have an entire army protecting him. At most, those who owe him and those too afraid to refuse. He seemed to be in high spirits. It's like the coming conflict with Ethan. Ethan doesn't frighten him at all. He's enjoying this. Yeah, I kind of got that feeling from him. I have a question. Everyone turned to face him. Let's hear it. Isn't there a way for us to prevent the concert? If we call the police, then the police will just get hurt. We could theoretically start a fire. But then more people will get hurt. That's dangerous. Both of these are dangerous options, Mia. I don't think this one's funnier though. Right before the show starts, we have considered it. But it's easier said than done, so we decided against it. Why? Wood must be stopped. Right now we know where and when he's gonna be. This is our best chance to stop him once and for all. I see. Let's get to it then. No one objected. Xander found a blueprint of the stadium. Show them. Of course. Xander unfolded the blueprint on the table. We'll get there early to make it inside with the early crowd. Francis, you go to the announcer's booth and announce that the show's been canceled due to technical issues. Also that everyone's tickets will be refunded in full. Here's the script. Xander, in the meantime, you stand near the guards at the entrance. As soon as the announcement sounds, hypnotize the guards, assure them that everything is fine and that they should stop letting people in. Understood. Wouldn't hurt to pair him up with someone to help deal with the more rowdy types. I can handle that. Sophia, it is likely that Gilbert will be there. Do you remember him? She nodded. Yes, I'll take care of him. Gilbert? I'll be honest, I don't remember who that is. Is he dangerous? Very. One moment. Oh, wait, is that the guy who came to get Victor at his house? He's the one who gave me help that one time? He took out his phone and showed a couple of photos. Everyone, pay attention. These vampires are likely to accompany Ethan. He swiped through the photos in order. Monica, Matteo, Gilbert. Oh, wait. Or is that one of the two we took pictures of? Yeah, I remember them now. I remember them now. Okay. Victor, Max and I will be tracking Wood down? Yes. Sophia glanced at Mia. Victor, perhaps someone more powerful should be accompanying you? Oh my god. Like, are you like... Oh lord. Mia looked back at Sophia while carefully applying pressure to her will. What? She stumbled, nearly dropping her glass of wine. Enough of a demonstration? Yes, quite. Like, weren't not here for the description, for the conversation? That I'm supposed to be the Moonborn? And this is supposed to be quite normal? Like, I don't understand how you missed the memo. It's like, hello. The vampiress rubbed her temples. That was convincing. We'll also have to keep an eye on the side as soon as people start leaving, so that crowd doesn't start a riot. And check the service rooms. The prince intends to keep a large number of people in place somehow. We need to figure out how exactly. Agreed. I'd like to avoid any unpleasant surprises. But there will be some. How big is the stadium anyway? The event is completely sold out, over 20,000 fans. France is cursed. So that's too many. That's why we need to close off the entrance as soon as possible. We'll stop as many as we can from going in. Yes, but we can't do anything ahead of time. It'll just scare him off. We'll have to move fast. We've got no other choice. Afterwards, they moved on to discuss the course of action in case anything went wrong. Everyone memorized their respective roles. At some point, Mia looked at those gathered around her. The werewolves and vampires were looking over the plans laid out on the table, getting ready to stand side by side in a battle to preserve the frail balance. A chill went down her spine. I'm sure that's how it was all those years ago, the last time. I just hope that everyone isn't going to die this time. Some of them survived the fight. If things happen the same way, I'm not going to, but... Better me than Max. Or Victor also. Mia spent the final hours before the blood moon with Max. Time seemed to have slowed down to a crawl as the time before the night of the ritual dragged on. The upcoming battle made it hard to focus on anything else. Mia's attempt to distract herself by watching movies didn't help much at all. Max called her out to her from the kitchen. Mia, enough staring at the TV. Come here, I need your help. She unenthusiastically headed towards him. He was clearly about to bake something. Get a cup of sugar and 3 tablespoons of honey. Mix them together and melt them over the burner. This bowl should do the trick. What for? We're making a cake. A cake? He calmly replied. A honey cake. Mia furrowed her eyebrows. Max, are you serious right now? We may die tonight, and here you are making a cake. He shook his head and asked. Hero, what's with the pessimism? We're gonna cook it up now, then go deal with Ethan, then back here to celebrate. By the time we're back, the cake will have had enough time to absorb the flavor. I also got a bottle of champagne. It certainly managed to lift Mihira's spirits. Mia smiled and opened a nearby cabinet. There really was a bottle in there. Max offered her an apron. Come on, don't just stand around. I'll take care of the eggs. Are you not worried at all? It's the prince that should be worried. He's the one that's going to die. They did very well and took a quick break when they were done. Mia rested on Max's shoulder and fell asleep. Yeah, we're going to need a little bit of rest. His kiss awoke her. It's time to get up. She stretched and got out of bed. It was already dark outside. After getting themselves ready, they headed towards the stadium. Like, should I put on a battle outfit? Are they going to, like, give me one? If they don't, I have one in mind. After getting themselves ready, they headed towards the stadium. Transparent sweater and coat. Oh, they're changing my clothes. Okay, well, I just changed my clothes. And I picked that hair because it's my favorite. It's not practical for fighting, but it is my favorite of the bunch. Transparent sweater and coat. Okay. A leather coat. It's not conducive to fighting. Ooh, that's fun. Gray short sleeve jacket. Black jacket with wristbands. I kind of like this one. Even though I kind of like the Ash costume a little bit more. I'll keep this on for a little bit, see how I feel about it. There was no need for tickets. Hypnosis helped open any doors they needed. Some people had already taken their seats while the crew were busy getting the stage ready. Mia's companions knew what they had to do and quickly dispersed. Only Max and Victor remained. There's the blood moon, guys. Van Art, do we immediately attack this time? Or do you want to have a chat with him first? Yes, please tell us! Victor couldn't hold back a smile. I think we can do without his last words. Great, let's go then. They could be in the audience. Or should we check the service rooms first? I don't know. Well, let me get a picture of Mia. Let's check the service rooms because we mentioned it. It's unlikely that he'd be among the crowd out here. They quickly made their way below the bleachers, past the guard, who managed to take a step towards them before being hypnotized by Victor. Apart from two light technicians hurrying about their business, there wasn't anyone in the corridors. They found stairs leading down to the basement. We need to check it out. There were several doors there. Some led to service rooms, while others were locked. Max stopped before one of them sniffed the air and tried to open it. Familiar scent, very fresh, left by a vampire. Should I break in? Mia nodded and bam, the door flew open. Max closed his eyes and sniffed the air again. He was here, the one who attacked Sean and kidnapped Rachel. It's his scent for sure. What's all this though? Room's walls were lined with heating system pipes. Next to them were big tanks with tubes leading from them to the ceiling. Unmarked, looked like they'd have gas in them. Mia wanted to go inside the room but was stopped by Max. There are no sensors on them. I'd rather not risk it. Victor took out his phone, called Arthur, and described the situation to him. I needed to check the bleachers for any ventilation shafts or holes of unknown purpose. A minute later, he hung up and said, On the floor next to the base of the seats, there are holes every couple of feet. There were a lot of them. Arthur says that they are probably all around the stadium. Max pointed towards the sensors once more. This could be a trap. We can't touch anything here. Let's go back up. Mia said what they were all thinking. Wood owns his own chemical plants, remember? Oh, remember we were talking to Dante and we were asking them how each person made their fortune. Could he have made all this there and then transferred it here under the guise of harmless stage effects? The audience will be put to sleep and then he will start drinking their blood one by one. She imagined how he was going along the rows, kneeling over each unconscious attendee. How he bites into their necks over and over, taking a quick gulp and moving on to the next victim. How blood flows down the steps. I'm going to stop him. Francis called. Does somebody litter? How freaking rude. Yes? I gave the announcement. I'll repeat it in a few minutes. Mia quickly told that to Victor and Max. Great, let's go up. Okay, well, now they know we're here. Just imagine what's going on up there right now. Francis' voice sounded throughout the stadium. Attention! Due to technical reasons, the concert has been cancelled. We apologize for the inconvenience. The price of tickets will be refunded. Tickets can be returned later. Starting tomorrow, the box office will be open regular hours. Attention! Everyone is asked to leave the stadium immediately. I repeat. Due to technical reasons, the concert has been cancelled. We apologize. There were yells of disappointment from the crowd. If Benny is around here somewhere, we'll see him very soon. People were standing up and headed towards the exit. However, many didn't move at all. What are they waiting for? Mia? Stick to the plan. What? Shut off the lights and get out of there before Wood's vampires get to you. Sudden darkness convinced the remaining audience members that the announcement was in fact not a joke. Word and some startled fans started leaving. Arthur, who was working on calming down the more rowdy ones, appeared in the distance. The bleachers quickly emptied out. As soon as the last two people left, Wood's vampires appeared. Once they noticed Victor, Mia, and Max, they started approaching them from either side. Mia felt as though a deadly circle was closing around her and her friends. If we get stuck fighting them, Wood might get away. But help wasn't far behind. Her allies intercepted them. Mia's heart started beating faster. Time seemed to slow down, and she gained a heightened awareness. Mateo leaped over a few rows of seats. His battle cry pierced her ears. Hello. But Didier and Xander blocked his path. The vampires clashed while the werewolf began his transformation. Then from the side appeared someone who she would recognize instantly. The one who bit her and in doing so destroyed her life, her previous life. Piece of shit. He attacked John. Oh, I forgot how fluffy John was! He was adorable! Arthur came to his aid. Have to find the prince quick. Go towards the stage or look around. I don't know if I should just head off into a direction or if I should scope out, but I don't want to stand stuck too still. So I feel like I should be on the move. Looking straight ahead, Mia rushed down the stairs where she'd be able to keep an eye on all exits. That sounds smart. Sophia was having a fierce fight with Gilbert in the corridors. The vampiress was hissing like a rabid panther, with each attack attempting to scratch out her opponent's eyes. Yeah, now I remember Gilbert. I'm trying to think about what to do for a thumbnail. From the other side appeared. Oh my god! Simon, I'm gonna need you to not be here, sweetheart. Where'd you get that gun from? Simon, what the hell? And then Benny Bart came out on stage. Oh, somebody knock his ass out. After the announcement, Trevor and Samantha were checking the service rooms when they came across two vampiresses. Vampiresses. I don't know. They were arguing and weren't paying attention to their surroundings. And that's an order from the prince. I saw Van Art and Mia. To hell with her. So what if she helped you? Forget about it. No, I don't like all this. I'm getting out of here. Why is Van Art with her? I'm telling you, Monica, we have to get out of here. Who knows what their deal with Wood is? This doesn't concern us. I don't know. Damn it. It's not too late yet. Monica hesitated. There is one less opponent because of your high reputation with the vampires. You're right. Let's go. Both of them disappeared further down the corridor. Okay. That's better. Well, easier for us. Can you hear that? I think something's going on upstairs. Let's go. They ran towards the stairs. Suddenly, there was a gunshot outside. Simon! Lord. Please don't get hurt. He pulled the trigger. Who did you... I don't care. He'll be alright. But he was thrown to the ground, his jacket ruined. Simon took aim again. Stand between him and Ben. Maybe I shouldn't have stood there. I don't know. No! Benny's an idiot, but he's not... I don't think he knows about the ritual. Mia jumped in between them, which caused Simon to lower the rifle. Mia? What the hell are you doing here? Trevor and I were drinking yesterday. He let it slip that you guys were trying to stop some scary local Dracula. So I came to help. Victor leaned over Benny, who groaned. Whoever you are, run. Max snickered. Simon, you discount Van Helsing? His generation can handle it. Mia's amazement by Simon's actions quickly turned into annoyance. He's fighting all around and we are forced to deal with this. Damn, it's his concert, isn't it? So I thought that he's here. Victor's calm voice caused Mia and Max to turn around. Oh, why does he look like that? Oh my god. And he's already started the ritual. The prince was headed towards them. Having seen his face, Simon exclaimed, Holy fuck. But I was trying to get up and hadn't seen Wood yet. What do you think you're doing here? Who locked me up? And you with a shotgun. I'm gonna pay you back for that one. No, you're not. Tis. You ruined the show and still lost. Now Benny also saw. God damn. Victor and transformed Max take a step towards the prince. They weren't in range to attack, so they waited. His face, though. Simon, get Benny to safety, quickly. Without any further questions, he picked the vampire up and carried him backstage. Thank you, Simon. Meanwhile, Wood kept coming closer. Mia, you're really starting to piss me off. Oh, that's my line, bitch. Like a thorn in my side, I couldn't quite get out. And Victor, I told you to leave town. Here's your last chance. Join me and together we will topple this old order. Oh, you just kicked him out, sir. Oh, nerve? Victor asked, Ethan, have you seen yourself in the mirror? You shouldn't be allowed in any society looking like that. Enough. Now you must die. Guards, a handful of workers and 50 audience members may not seem like much, but it's going to be enough to defeat you. Their blood is within me already. Meanwhile, Max shifted to the side, ready to strike. You're just a degenerate. Samantha and Trevor appeared in the distance. However, all of Mia's attention was focused on the prince. Max charged towards Ethan. Yo, this music. God. Okay. Shit. Okay. The prince was much faster than any of the vampires Mia had to deal with before. I might have turned it down just a little bit. But that's bumping though. Let's turn it up for a little second. I'm digging that. So let's crank that down just a little bit. Okay. Even the Ash book dealer in Angel Moira was slower. He knocked the werewolf back with an extremely fast strike. Oof. He made eye contact with Victor, but looked away just in time to avoid being hypnotized, easily evaded Max's attack, and lost sight of Mia. Try to influence his will? She mustered all of her will and focused it onto an attack. He hesitated momentarily and struck back. Mia fell to her knees. He stepped forward, aiming to kick her in the head. Max ran into the prince and slashed him with his claws. His blood splattered on Mia as he fell next to her. She kicked him as she clawed away, then stood up. What was faster yet again? He swung. No. Akin to a loud whisper, Victor's voice caused Ethan to slow down a bit. Mia and Max rushed in together. There was fighting all over the stadium. From time to time, Mia could hear the sounds of seats breaking and screams of pain. Although both sides were fighting equally fiercely, the same could not be said about their power levels. Francis and Howard managed to back Ronald into a corner. It was clear that he wouldn't last long. Who is Ronald? Maybe he's the one holding me at the club. I don't know. Mateo was struggling against Didier and Xander. He went on the defensive, not even trying to strike back. Seeing that he couldn't win, Gilbert was frantically looking for a way to escape, but Sophia didn't let him. Both fighting parties shifted around the stadium as the battle went on. Arthur collapsed from the bleachers within a few feet of Mia. Edgar landed next to him. The vampire who nearly killed Sean bit her, then ordered her to be kidnapped and locked up in the basement of an abandoned factory and responsible for what happened to Rachel. The vampire whose death Mia wanted no less than that of Wood was holding a knife. Do I stop attacking Wood to help Arthur? Like, I understand. I'm upset. I think I should leave Arthur to it, though. Bro. He hit Arthur once, and just as he was about to hit him again, suddenly he got knocked down by a massive gray wolf. Oh, John, Sarah, okay. John looked seriously wounded. His fur was matted in brown spots, his ribs and back covered in cuts, and yet he still saved Arthur. Arthur survived thanks to John Fall. What? Mia was very close. Mateo blocked her path. Wasn't he just fighting two people? What happened there? He grinned as he approached her, but then Xander jumped on his back. That's what, like, wasn't he fighting Xander and Didier? Didier followed as fangs shined. Xander survived because Didier helped him. Oh my god! All of Victor's friends would have been dead. I mean, I don't particularly like them, but still. Path of the Moon. She ran up to him, taking a slight right and making eye contact with him. Crush Edgar's will. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Freeze. He turned out to be surprisingly resistant to hypnosis. The order held him in place only for milliseconds. No, no. He fell to his knees and started mumbling something, unable to move. Mia could feel that his mind was completely in her control. She came closer and looked him straight in the eyes. Die. Involuntarily, he lifted the hand holding the knife up to his face. He could understand what he was doing, but he couldn't resist. With a quick motion, he struck the blade under his chin. I should not be smiling. Thank fuck though, dude. Oh, get out of here. Let me take a picture so I can savor this freaking moment. His body slowly fell backward. Edgar is dead. Is there a chance he wouldn't have been? Meanwhile, Wood was still fighting Max and Victor. Mia had to help them. Ow. With either a sigh or a moan of pain, Uncle John pointed towards the prince. Oh, I think you should fall back, buddy. You done good. Taking that as reassurance that he can manage by himself, she hurried back. It was uncertain who was winning at this point. From the prolonged battle of wills, Victor was bleeding from the nose and his lips had turned pale. Max landing on the edge of the stage with such force that it sent pieces of debris flying around. Oh my god, he roared from pain as he got up. The prince, however, wasn't having it any easier. His ritual-altered skin looked more like a sponge and his outfit was ruined. The horrid look was completed by the torn bits of flesh rapidly regenerating back into place. There's a limit to his power. Ethan didn't let her come any closer. As their eyes met, it was like she hit a brick wall. His powerful mental attack caused her to howl in pain. It was like 1,000 needles were struck into her brain. She collapsed on the ground and lost consciousness. Oh no! Screaming could be heard outside. Benny had almost completely regenerated. He was sitting on the floor and leaning against the wall, giving Simon an annoyed look. Maybe you can explain to me what's going on? I just know the gist of it. Some vampires decided to kill all the audience members. Our guys got in his way. Sorry. Would use me too. The bastard. Bart stood up and headed towards the doors. I'll go with you. Are you out of your mind? There are powerful beings fighting out there. Stay here. Simon remained alone. Soon he heard loud footsteps approaching, and some man ran from around the corner. Simon, if you shoot him in the face, you will go out of G in my eyes. Please shoot him in the face. A beautiful woman was chasing after him. Sophia ain't playing. Based on the way they moved, he understood who they were. Vampires. He pressed against the wall as they ran past him, paying him no mind. Damn, this is getting out of hand. Mia regained consciousness, knowing that only a couple of seconds had passed. Through hazy vision and a massive headache, she noticed the prince. He was holding a wide metal piece of debris. He was filled with immense hatred, madness, and rage. Wood then started moving faster. Mia had just started getting back up. Max rushed to intercept. Ethan swung, aiming for the werewolf's chest. Max dodged but fell on the ground in the process. The prince was faster and swung again. Metal glistened in the moonlight. Max wouldn't have been able to get up. Mia jumped in between them, shielding the werewolf. The debris pierced her side and scratched along her ribs. Ow! Pain blinded her. She fell onto Max. Stay back, Wood. His velvety, mind-breaking voice forced Ethan to back off. Mia, no! He carefully put her down on the floor. What have you done? Reach. She's trying to say that she can regenerate? A bit of blood appeared on her lips. What? Regeneration. Hang in there, Hera. Do you hear me? She tried to prop herself up and look at the wound, but that caused her even more pain. Ouch. As she leaned back, she managed to see that the metal was stuck in quite deep. Battle raged around them, but Max's eyes were fixed on hers. You crazy? Why? Why did you do that? Do you even have to act, sweetheart? You could have died because of me. You saved Max because of how close the two of you are! Wait, no! Does that mean Victor? No. Tears were streaming down her face. Because I chose you, and I will keep doing so without hesitation. His voice was strangely vibrating when he said, Mia, I love you. I love you too. Max, you need to get this thing out. It's gonna hurt. Hang on. She blinked and stiffened to show that she was ready. With one hand on the wound, he quickly pulled a piece of debris with the other. Oh, God damn it all. It's okay now, Hera. You're strong. Just hang on. It'll get better soon. I don't know if it's fast enough to save Victor, though. He's fighting him by himself. Feeling the wound start to close, Mia looked to Victor fighting the prince. Wood. I got this. I'll be right there. Fall ran towards the enemy as Mia slowly stood up. Her wounds hadn't yet healed completely as she took a few steps forward. Victor and Max were opposing Ethan. Oh, yeah, thank goodness. Please help Victor. Do not die. Do not die. Because I don't think my relationship with him is close enough. Because I wasn't romancing him at all. To save him. Oh my god. Can you imagine Max dying there? Oh my god. The battle was beginning to take a toll on them both. It was clear that one mistake could cost one of them their life. The vampires were trying to break each other's wheels. Werewolf claws were slashing inches away from the prince's body, who managed to evade their attacks again and again. That being said, Max was also able to avoid being hit. They were circling around each other, attacking, counter-attacking, and dodging. The fight transformed into a frail balance of strength, speed, and experience, but it couldn't go on forever. Someone had to tip the scales. I need to wait for an opening. She was on edge, until finally, that opening appeared. Max knocked him against a stage where he couldn't move as easily. Deep wounds covered Ethan's chest. Blood was dripping from them on the ground. It seemed like he was losing the power given to him by the blood moon with every drop. Victor exhaled and began whispering, causing the prince to clutch his temples. The exhausted wound opened his mouth in a painful grimace. Mia looked him in the eyes. Yes, I have enough! Ah! Kill! Do not stun. This is not the time. Effort caused her vision to darken momentarily. His face was right in front of her. Victor maintained holding him in place. Max was nearby, supporting but allowing her to kill. Mia took a step forward. He shivered. She took another step. He started shaking. Savor the moment! Savor the moment! She was pushing him against the stage. He moaned and dropped to the ground. Time to end this. Ethan arched backward, his hands and legs outstretched, and his entire body spasmed. His skin was covered in a grid of burst blood vessels. With one final twitch, he finally stopped moving. Mia didn't look away from his eyes. Make sure. Ethan Wood, the Prince of Vampires, betrayer of his only friend. The one who disregarded the prohibition of the other princess and aimed to disrupt the balance of light and darkness. In the blood moon glow, the prince fell before Mia. She grimaced out of breath and then rubbed her neck. Exhausted, she took a step back. Her head was spinning. Mia? She looked at him and softly said, Yo, make sure you're standing in front of Victor, just in case that dude's not down fully. And softly said, I'm fine. Give me a second. Something made her turn around. Oh, no. Get in front of Victor, dude. No! Off to the side, a pale Benny was looking at the horrific sight further in the distance on the top rows of the bleachers. Who's up there? Francis stood, swaying from side to side. Behind her. Fucking Ronald! Trash. Get out of here. No! Wait. Then Mia realized that Ronald was unconscious and held up by Howard. Oh, fuck. Thank you, Howard. I never thought I'd say those words. Crawford pushed him and let him fall down the stairs. Francis glanced at the defeated foe, then nodded at Howard. Francis survived because of Howard's aid. Oh my god. So if I had killed him, oh my god. Can you fucking imagine? She slowly made her way down the stairs. Max approached and hugged her. You good? Mostly. Little one. Hero. Look who's talking. Max whispered in her ear. I want to go home. I want a normal life. And you... He added. To wash away all this. And a slice of some honey cake. Sophia came around Ethan's body as she approached. What are your orders, Prince? Mia didn't understand at first who Sophia had said that to. Victor, of course! Victor, please, like, if you could, like, take over, like, this town's area, because we need a new prince, and it would totally be cool if you were the prince. That would be great. I can understand you still not wanting to do it, but that still would be great, Victor. And please don't die. You need to take responsibility. You can't just refuse this time around. There's no one else to do it. He remained silent for a second, then with an even, tired tone, he said, First things first, we need to get rid of any traces. Check the dead and the living. Benny, you'll help? Yes, of course. There's no point in trying to hide this from the others. I'll contact them and have them chip in their time. Don't tell anyone about Wood or the ritual. Come up to me later, and I'll tell you the version that's going to become the truth for the humans. Yeah, I think it's a good idea not to tell anybody about the ritual, because the fewer people who know about that shit, the better. Like, that ritual needs to stay under wraps. That's gotta stop. How many did he kill? Seems like around 100. And he was gonna kill all of them? What matters now is that we stopped him. That monster, he tricked me. All these years. They just locked me up under the stadium. I busted the door if it weren't for you. Mia, if only I had listened. So many died. But it's not my fault. How could I have believed something like that? There's no point in looking for someone to blame now. She looked around. Benny, where's Simon? The guy who shot me? I left him back in the service corridor. He pointed towards the stage. I saw him. He's fine. Okay, so she did see him when she passed him by. She just was focused on attacking Gilbert. We need to get those gas tanks out of there. What about Gilbert? What about Matteo? Who was fighting Matteo? Since Sophia is here, I would assume she didn't stop until she got him. So I'm curious about what happened to the other guy. Matteo is dead. What about Gilbert? I captured him alive. I think we'll decide what to do about him elsewhere. Unbelievable. All of ours survived the fight. Mia needed to help the others, so she stayed at the stadium until sunrise. Okay. So Victor's not in danger on a Max route. But is Max in danger on a Victor route? I don't want to see Max die, guys. Because I'm going to do Victor's route after this. You know what? Just tell me. Just tell me. If Max has to die on Victor's route, just please warn me ahead of time. I don't want to find out in the moment. I don't. So just please tell me if you know. Miriam, you did Victor's route. You tell me, let me know. Let me know if Max has to die in that route. And tell me if there's a way that he can be saved. If there's a way he can be saved, then don't tell me if he does. And I just, well, I guess, yeah. Let me know if there's a way. I'll figure out how. Just let me know, please, because I don't want to see that. I really don't. That scares me. Okay. 3 weeks passed since the night of the blood moon. The weather remained sunny and warm. Mia returned to her studies. She did. The talks of Benny's canceled concert had already died out. The official story was that the people died from a gas leak. The grieving relatives were given compensation and the tickets were all refunded. Naturally, there were rumors and that it wasn't that simple and that the government was hiding some truth. Well, it's better that they think it's just the government because screw them. Some journalists were linking the incident to terrorists or even government experimentation. Naturally, neither the media nor the government knew what really happened. The vampires saw to that. The actions were coordinated by the officially recognized prince, Victor Van Art. The werewolves weren't able to help much in this, and so they didn't interfere. Benny Bart avoided any contact with the media. Mia was recalling what had happened over the past few months, weighing on her decisions, pondering if she could have done anything differently and what would come of it. I think we can safely look back on our decisions as all pretty freaking good, all things considered. I think we can kind of look back on that with a pretty clear conscience. Somehow, nobody died, and that's fantastic. She lingered in the library before going outside. It was already dark and the streetlights were on. Mia took a few steps, then stopped. She looked up to the moon. I did all that I could, all that I had to. Wouldn't you agree? Mia once again recalled the battered nail Gallstadt, Edgar's fangs, the chain she was bound with in the basement of an abandoned factory, the stadium, Ethan Wood's face, blood, pain. I've had enough. I have to keep going. Max said he wanted a normal life. But the ritual is still a possibility. I have to make sure this doesn't happen again. Because it's easy to say, yeah, let's just move on and forget about it. In a sense, you can. But surely you need to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Because despite what the werewolves keep saying, this involves everybody. I can't believe Simon showed up there. This all wasn't for nothing, right? This is my path, my destiny. This is something I died and came back to life for. I will become a Twilight Guardian. The Order must be reborn. To prevent this from ever happening again. She shook her head and ran down the stairs. Someone called out to her. Hey, Ashton, what's up? Mia. She turned around. Hello? Hey. How's it going? Fine, yeah, why? Lately you've been a bit self-contained. Want to come to a party? Halloween is coming up and the guys are organizing a witches' Sabbath. Are there witches out there? He took out a brief leaflet. You should come. Mia recoiled and shook her head. No way. I'll pass this time. She started to walk away. What do you mean this time? Wasn't he the one who gave me... He was the one who brought me the box with the masquerade party thing. Why is he always the one delivering this shit? Is that suspect? What do you mean this time? Mia? Her slender silhouette disappeared in the crowd. Yeah, I'm out, dude. Oh, man. That was pretty good. And now we get to see the finale. I'm doing a separate video, though. That was pretty crazy, final battle, though. That music was hype. You don't need nearly as many points in this one as you do in Cells in the Fog. Thank goodness. Oh, man. And I think of the two that was the most expensive, I was surprised there wasn't more diamond options in this last battle, but I guess they're just like, this is the culmination of all of your choices up till now. I'm super excited to finally get another story completed. I think that's really cool. Um, yeah, and I played the whole season in like a day and a half or so. But that's fine. I'm really excited for this though. Just to see how everything ends up. What happens with the relationship with Max. Figure out how Victor's gonna run the territory and stuff like that. How the other princes are gonna react to see Angel Mora in a non-hostile light, and all that jiggly jazz. Let's go ahead and hop into it. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. This is really exciting. Yeah, we'll see if this one makes me cry too. Like one soul in the pug. I'm really excited to have another story completed though. Epilogue. Sometime later, the weather was perfect and the sun was setting. The evening brought with it a sense of ease as Mia left the college. It's still too early to relax yet. I still have my finals ahead of me. A gentle breeze ruffled her hair. As soon as I get my diploma, then I can relax, go someplace next to the ocean. Where are you headed now? I went to go shopping. Want to come with me? I can't. Daryl invited me to the cinema. Okay. So they're talking now. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Alright. We'll see how that goes. Trisha, are you seeing him again? Yes, he's cool. Mia looked at her more closely. Do I not know something? Well, the two of us are kind of a thing. Mia grabbed her and hissed. He was after your blood. That's exactly why I haven't told you before. I just knew you'd be against it. Listen, it's all in the past now. He can control himself. And how long have you been together for? A couple of months. Drop your lecturing and be happy for me, damn it. You wanted me to pick a guy already, so I have. And I don't want to have to choose between the two of you. Uh-huh. Anyway, I have to go. Oh, Lord. I'm nervous. I hope it works out. Honestly, I do. But I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't the most healthiest start to a relationship, but alright. We're saying goodbye. They both went their separate ways. I saw a really nice dress in here a while back. That's about time I finally bought it. Dress Awakening. Dress Endemic. That's kind of fun. Dress Reality. Dress Grace. I kind of like this one the best. As she wandered around the shopping center, Mia noticed Sophia leaving one of the boutiques. Sophia, good evening. What brings you here? Hello, Mia. I would assume for the same reasons you're here. Mia regularly talked with the vampires, asking about new converts who had a transformation similar to hers. Someone she could take into the order. You haven't visited in a while. Oh, you know, college. Is there any news? Not about what you're looking for. However, we do have something to talk about. I was going to call you about it. How about we go somewhere for some coffee? Let's go to our place. Is this Victor's? When he became prince, Victor opened another club for vampires called New Life. Is Victor here? Most likely. He spends most of his time here. Does the title come with its own set of problems? Naturally. Should I call for him? No need. I don't want to distract him from anything important. They sat down at the table. Fancy. What do you have? Tea. The barman brought you a cup of green tea. Here you go. Still you, huh? Thanks. When he left, Mia asked, how's he holding up? I think that in about a year or two. She looked me in the eyes. The Ash clan is going to pay a visit. All of them? No, just one. What do they want? How strange. Why would they suddenly come out of their dungeons? They hope to find out the details of what happened at that stadium. To keep history. Will you talk to the messenger? Mia shrugged. I don't see why not. It'd better if I could tell them what to write about the Guardians. As recent events have shown, we really need to keep knowledge of what happened there. It was a valuable lesson. Great. Then I'll let you know when the representative is here. I'm sure that you won't have to do it alone. Victor is going to invite them here, and of course, we'll also be present. Okay. After a brief silence, Sophia asked, "Have you heard about what they say about you in Europe?" No. Anything interesting? After a certain loss of his reputation, Moore managed to reinforce his standing. I doubt he's going to forget what happened at the cemetery. However, he doesn't have anything against you personally. On the contrary, he's trying everything he can to convince the others that you deserve respect. By killing Ethan Wood, you saved us all. Does he want to repay me for it? He's not that thankful. Nevertheless, he stated several times already that he supports the Twilight Guardians when they reappear. Ravel and 2 other European princes feel the same way, while the others haven't decided yet, though it's only a matter of time, I think. The Order will not face too many difficulties. How does Mora know who killed Wood anyway? There was a complete chaos at the stadium. Someone could have escaped and told him. Could have been someone we missed completely. What about the young guardian? Again, he's not a guardian yet. There is potential, though. Mia remembered. Who? I found a potential guardian 2 months after Wood's death. It was midnight. A young werewolf attacked a group of orphans. Andrew, a bit younger than Sean, got hurt defending his friend. The wolf ran away. Afterward, the doctors had no idea how the boy didn't bleed out. In actuality, he sacrificed himself and died, and received a new life. Sophia's question snapped Mia back to reality. Have you met him yet? No, I'm watching over him from a distance. He was taken into a pack to the north, Fall's relatives. Once he grows up, I'll tell him about the Order. It's too early right now. I'm sure that there are more to come soon. There may be some in the middle of nowhere, sure, but there's also no way for me to find out about them. Besides, the Guardians weren't that numerous. Sophia decided to change the subject. How are things with your magazine? I don't know how it was before Walter returned, but things are great now. A rival office, Epoch, tried to hire me, but I refused instantly. After what I went through with my colleagues, obviously I'd stay with them. Mia looked around. She had seen a couple of the vampires before, but she didn't know any of them personally. Monica and Grace used to come here all the time. I guess not today. Gilbert, was it? Does he show up here? Occasionally. He wasn't judged for serving Ethan, so he got off easy, feeling no remorse. What about Patrick? I haven't talked to him in a while. He's good. Mia? Yes? You know that Victor doesn't seek conflict with the werewolves, but we aren't friends either. We share one territory and don't communicate. She wants to know what they've been up to. There's no harm in telling her a little bit, right? I mean, I gotta tell her a little bit. After Ethan's defeat, Emil started treating me better. I came over a couple of times for tea. You haven't met her, but probably heard about Lorette. Yes. She moved to Alaska after marrying a wolf from another pack. So there aren't as many of them, although I don't think Remy and Didier are going to be single for long. I see the Falls rather often. They're doing great. Forgive me if it's not my place to ask, but how are you and Max doing? You're a couple, right? Mia smiled. That's right. We're doing great. Sophia shook her head in disbelief. I don't understand. How did his relatives take it? You're a half vampire. He's a werewolf. They were shocked, of course, although you can't really argue with Max. If he's decided on something, there's no other choice but to accept the consequences. Do you have any more news? To make up for the lost time, I had to study really hard. I didn't go out or see anyone. Did I miss anything? You don't see him too? Only rarely. He's extremely busy now. You should know that better than me. Plus, would he even talk about his problems? Both Arthur and Xander are a big help, and I've come to rely on them a lot. I'm a very powerful prince. Don't worry. It's going to be a while before anyone even attempts to overthrow him. Victor has connections in Europe. Some princes want to see him get this title. A lot of sympathizers are going to move here. It's good that you didn't kill Howard. He can be very useful. Crawford has many good contacts throughout the city. Glad to hear. Mia stood up. It was good to see you again. Likewise. They said their goodbyes and Mia left. Okay, so they kind of just give you like a little basic recap on everything. That's pretty cool. Mia entered the apartment. There's nothing like getting back home and knowing that there's someone waiting for you. Immediately there was a happy... Hello, Moonbeam. A moment later, a fluffy tail brushed against her leg. My pretty, did you miss me? It sniffed her hands and bag and quickly lost interest and walked away. Where's Max? I'm home. Do you need me to come out and help you? No, I'm fine. As she entered the room, she caught him doing something strange. He was rubbing her nail polish remover on his phone. Sitting aside yet another cotton pad, he quickly kissed Mia. What happened? We were having a listening out in the park, and I gathered everyone's phones so they wouldn't sit around staring at them. And here's their revenge. He sighed and he showed her his phone, decorated with hearts and sparkles. While we were playing dodgeball, someone took my phone and improved it. Did you scold them? How? There were 12 of them. I couldn't have started an investigation. It was my fault. I didn't keep an eye on it. And your boys didn't see anything? Maybe they did. I didn't ask them. Can't have them tattling on the girls. Gosh, Mia, this is no use. Sparkles everywhere. Let me help you. Oh, the hell with it. It's time to go. Mia took the flower pot off the windowsill. Maybe we should tie a bow around it. It is a birthday gift, after all. No, Helen doesn't like excessive decorator fluff. He put his hand on her hips and looked her in the eyes. Guile and desire. Max, stop it. Stop what? His voice became lower and softer. We're going to be late to the family celebration. But no big deal. She lowered her hand and deftly undid his belt. Then took off his shirt, exposing his chest. He gently kissed her neck. He slowly inhaled, savoring the smell of her skin. He ran his fingers along her body, undressing her at the same time. He played with her breasts, enjoying how soft they were. She closed her eyes. At times he was extremely gentle, while other times he was greedy and bold. And then he went around her, and she felt his hot breath on her back. She leaned back, feeling his arousal. He pulled her closer, then froze. A few seconds later, she impatiently swayed her hips, indicating what she wanted. She couldn't see it, but she was sure that there was a big grin on his face. Mia turned around to say something, but she was unable to. The words got caught in her throat and turned into a moan. They gave in to the fiery numbness of passion, the agony of desire, and the gentle care of caresses. They couldn't have enough of each other. For a long while, giving it their all, consumed by the pleasure. Excitement, a slight twitch of the muscles, and a pleasant weakness. Max, call your pack. Tell them we're running late. I need to take a shower. He picked up the phone while watching her leave the room. On the drive over, she told him about her meeting with Sophia. Then Max offered for her to join him and the kids on a trip next week. After resisting for a bit, she agreed. He was happy about that. Alright. The entire Wolf family gathered outside. Audrey was busy setting the table. Helen, Ralph, and Conrad were sitting by the fireplace. Finally. Yeah, Ralph wasn't letting us eat until you came. Stop calling your father by first name or you'll be grounded for the weekend. Max immediately supported her. And I will bite your ears off. Ralph menacingly looked at his son, causing him to mutter. Sorry, Dad. I took it a bit far. Max hugged Sean. That's my nephew. Mia, do you see what kind of pressure I'm under? Do that. Don't do this. No chance at self-expression. They don't let you get out of line. Yeah, it's a difficult age. I understand what you mean, but you have to try and have a discussion with your elders. I'm sure they don't have any easier of a time with you. Sean changed the subject to a more pertinent one. Should I go get the roast on? Should I go get the roast? Sitting on the plate with the roasted pork decorated with apple slices, Sean and Audrey brought the cake. Everyone then congratulated the birthday girl, wishing her all the best. Mia had gotten completely used to the werewolves and felt at ease among them. Suddenly, fireworks lit up the sky. Ralph hugged his wife and pulled her closer. Oh. They cherished each other as if they are only recently together, though I'm sure they've had their fair share of fights and issues they had to go through. The fireworks stopped, and now only the crackling of the fire pit was disturbing the silence. Mia's thoughts were interrupted by Max. He stood up and addressed the pack. Today, there's a beautiful girl among us. I have a gift for her also. He then reached out to the side and took out a vaguely familiar casket from under a napkin. Mia, this is for you. The last one. She cautiously took it. There's another one? The casket was identical to the ones holding the pieces of the prophecy. A sense of dread, Mia shook her head. Don't tell me you found the fifth one. His cheek twitched, but his face was focused and serious. What are you up to? With slightly numb fingers, Mia opened the box. Inside it was a piece of paper similar to parchment. There was something written on it. She quickly read it, and as she did, Max said it as well. Oh, God. You're the one I want to be with each day. The one I want to care about year after year for the rest of my life. I love you. Marry me. On the bottom of the casket, there was a ring. Oh my God. I need you to stop. Oh my God. Mia put her hand over her face, trying to fight back the tears. Everyone remained silent, waiting for her answer. She was looking Max in the eyes. Right now, he was the most important one. She said, yes. He approached her, gently took her hand, and put the ring on her finger. Her palm was slightly trembling. He kissed her. Ralph and Helen were smiling, happy for them. Uncle John laughed. Conrad said something encouraging, but Mia didn't hear him. Her future husband enveloped her in a hug, the one who would become her family. His hot hands were pulling her close to his chest. She looked up. The sky was filled with glowing stars. The Romance Club team congratulates you on finishing the story. Development team. I'm not going to read them all out this time, but I'm going to click through, so. Oh gosh. That's really nice. I don't mind that. I don't mind that ending. Until next time. We could see them get married, but still, that was really nice and sweet. Those two being cute, oh my gosh. And we kind of got to see a little bit of everyone, see where everyone is and how they're doing, what they're up to. What Victor's life as the prince is like, just a little bit. I think we'll probably get more information on that on Victor's route. I'm assuming if you're on Victor's route, Max might marry Samantha, but I don't want to think about that right now. I don't know why I even mention it. But yeah, that was nice and pleasant. I like that. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. And story is finished. The Romance Club would like to congratulate you on finishing the last chapter. Thank you for staying with us. Have a fun time playing the other stories for our club. Okay, so we've completed 2 stories now. Very cool. So we completed Souls in the Fog. I know it says season 4 because I'm replaying it. Because I want to show you guys the other routes on there, but let's go back to Moonborn. But yeah, completed all the seasons. They had me fooled with Angel Mora thing. They did have me fooled on that one. I didn't even really consider Ethan Wood, like, you know. I guess that's the genius of it. I didn't really consider him. I just kind of consider him to be just kind of like a crackpot, you know. Just not really nothing. Yeah. That's certainly interesting. Oh. Now I get to redo it all to figure out Victor's route and hope that I can still save Max in some way. Oh Lord. And maybe we can find out more about Victor's secrets. Hopefully he'll be a little bit more forthcoming on his route. That would be great. That would be great because I still have very many questions regarding Victor. He's a very complex and interesting character, for sure. To be fair, I've only been recording about 20 minutes or so. This one was a lot shorter than I was expecting it to be, but I guess I should have figured because they finished the battle last time. I find it interesting that they separated that, so I'm just going to go ahead and attach it back onto episodes 9 and 10. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that. Yeah, I like that ending. I enjoyed that. Everything got a nice a nice, well-rounded little conclusion there. Yeah, I think it was pretty cool. Just kind of give you a little recap, kind of like a recap episode, like the first episode of a new season of anime or something like that. But yeah, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that story. Yeah, definitely gonna be looking forward to playing that again, for sure, and getting more information and trying to look at all the clues that Edgar was never talking to Angel Mora. That got me, dude. I had to go back and look, and I'm like, sure enough, they never showed Angel Mora's face. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I want to go back and reread all those conversations because that's wild. I like that. I like that though. Yeah. Anyways, let me go ahead and end this part right here, and thank you for joining me on this Moonborn journey. Um, yeah, this is pretty exciting. So I think I'll probably see how much I can post of this week. But we'll see. That yeah, should be getting all this probably soon. But anyway, you'll know when it's out. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and show a like button, some love, subscribe to see more content like this, and I will see you next time. Bye.